I like animals, love elephants, and I love to paint my dogs. So the characters in my paintings that tell the story are usually animal figures. This piece on my right is a painting of a guinea hen friend of mine named Roberta. At one point in time, several years ago, the studio where I have my space was up for sale and set to be demolished. And that's when I did this piece, and the shape of it uses an old chair. I like to repurpose old elements that no longer have a life. And the hourglass shape suggests the passage of time, and at the time it felt like we had very little time left at the studio, and I felt like we both knew it. So that's why it's called Roberta Knows. Happily, the studio was not sold and demolished, and we are still there. This is right outside my studio door, so you can see there's quite a few birds. And there is Roberta, who was featured in the previous painting. There she goes. This is my studio. As you can see, the chickens think they live here. Just swing around. You can see I collect a lot of things. I used to do a lot of sculpture. There's one of my horse head sculptures. I just collect many things because I like to use a lot of things in my work. So you'll see a lot of the elements sitting around waiting to be used in a painting. It's an old mill. This is an old mill from the 1800s where I have my studio. It's original buildings, and it's a wonderful, beautiful place, kind of a bucolic island in the middle of Atlanta, Georgia. There we go. This is a piece I've just started. It's called The Broken Wheel of Childhood. And I was inspired by this old wagon wheel from my son's broken wagon, and wanted to make it the epicenter of the painting and have a lot of detritus flow out of this wheel towards the figure on the right. So I've started collecting some of the detritus. There's a Monopoly piece, a twisted piece of metal that has gotten mashed by a tire. The Empire State Building from a pen that belonged to my son, a nice rock, and some beads. We used to do beads when he was little, this beading game. So a lot of these things will be very specific and personal, and then I'll use a lot of just general detritus to just symbolize life and experience and the layering of time and growth. So it's really going to symbolize a journey of growing from a child into an adult. This is another new piece that I've just begun. It features a zebra-donkey hybrid, and I love the imaginary quality to her. I got to see her when she was a young filly, I guess you could call it, and she was just a beautiful ethereal creature. So I wanted to show that quality, and I also like to paint animals that look imaginary. To me, elephants and rhinos and even hippos almost look as if they shouldn't exist in our time. They seem so distant from what we live in, and I like that quality, so I felt like this animal had sort of that same magic that I get when I paint those animals.